Hey folks, how you doing? This is Kurt Van Anen, your host of the Mañana morning check-in and all things online that are Mañana Nomás. And I know I said that my times would be a little weird this week, and I had the inspiration. The highway went really good this morning, and so I thought to myself, I got a few minutes. Let's jump on, even if it's early, and just say, happy September, right? So September 2021 starts today. My question for today: how are you planning to attack the month? If you've been following along, you know that the Power Sport Academy is the Mañana Nomás project of the month. And it's more than the project of the month. Mañana Nomás has two major projects. One is Power Sport Academy, and the other is Challenge Connection. Well, the Power Sport Academy, September is the month. We're doing a drive on some social media, some email techniques, and things like that to help drive awareness of this project and its customer base. And I've invited people that follow Mañana Nomás to follow along on the Power Sport Academy kind of trail of promotion. I want people to see firsthand, how does this work? You can't just build a training site and go, well, I built a training site, I'm going to be a millionaire. That's not how that works. You build the training site, you have to be the subject matter expert. You have to make content that engages. You have to be personable. You have to, build community. You have to do all these things in order to find success within your membership and learning site. And so what I'm trying to do through this exercise is share with people from the Mañana Nomás audience what that looks like in real life. How does that really happen? How do you do it? We hear all the time, the gurus, right? Russell Brunson will talk about his potato gun. Tony Robbins has his talk. Everyone's got their thing. And one of the things that drives me nuts is the how. How do I put the rubber to the road? How do I experiment without going broke? How do I move forward? How do I move the bar forward? You'll hear people say, well, all you got to do is build a community and then inject that community into this and then this and then this, and then, flow this through this funnel and flow that through that funnel. But how? How do I get people to go even submit themselves to a funnel and give me an email address? And folks, that is what I've invited you in for. I wanted you to see the work, the step-by-step, the transparent approach. Like I said in Monday's value-added email, I got onto a podcast. That podcast might have fragments of the audience that I want to attract. And so I take sections of that podcast and I embed them into other promotional videos to show social proof. Like, hey, somebody else thought I was an expert in this field. Maybe you'll think I'm an expert too, right? Take that expert social proof and lay that into informational pieces that are like, hey, what are your pain points and how can I help solve those for you? You might not want to become a customer now, but why don't you join this free community and see if through peer learning or through exposure, you begin to see opportunities to fix those pain points. Now, instead of doing it the hard way and waiting for the opportune pain point to pop up that you can fix, why don't you just become a member and I'll customize this training to fix all your pain points and we'll take care of you. And, at the end of the day, folks, it's taking care of people that is the key. It's taking care of people that is the driver. I was just listening to a podcast with Lifter LMS yesterday, and a gentleman had talked about how within 12 weeks, he had grown a 6-figure membership business. But then he admitted, he said, I went on vacations, I traveled with friends, I did all kinds of things. And I think he said within 18 months or 24 months, that business had dried up because people unsubscribe, right? So, pardon me, if you go down this path, you need to commit to it that, okay, this is part of my lifestyle. I am going to support this. I am going to keep working on it, continuing to grow it. People that sign up for the Power Sport Academy, some folks are paying $10,000. Now, you're choking on it. I'm sorry. If you were drinking coffee and you just spit up because I said $10,000, I apologize. But you remember, I'm training multiple people in a very specific niche, and the return on investment is monstrous. So it's justified. But how do people recognize that value? They're not going to recognize that value by swiping a credit card and taking a stab at it. They're going to recognize that value because of the social proof and because of the community that gets built and all the touch points along the way. If you're going to sell something that's worth like 10 grand, that those touch points have to be 8 12 touch points deep. I know that. I'm prepared for that. And so I want to show people that I love them, that I'm going to take care of them, that I'm putting their priorities at the forefront of what we're doing. But the other side of the coin is I got to get them in to show them that. And that's what I've invited people that are following Mañana No Mas to come along and see. So if you're following along on LinkedIn, if you're watching these replays on LinkedIn and you're like, I'm catching a little bit of what he's saying, but I wish there was more, jump in. And in fact, I'm going to be running, I'm outside at AT&T right now, getting ready to go in and train on this new contract. So that's what you're hearing. There's a guy over here that's cleaning. This place is immaculate. They clean everything all the time. And so if you're new to Mañana No Mas and you haven't seen this ongoing message, if you're catching these replays on LinkedIn and you're like, I think I'm missing some of the details here, get involved. Join the list. Go to mañananomas.com, click on the Academy link, join the mail list, get those value-added emails, get access to those articles that I promote and publish that are giving the details on what we're actually doing here. I want you to be excited. I'm excited because it's my project, but I want you to be excited because I want you to say, hey, if these are the steps and this is what works, and Kurt's showing me that it works and he's taking me along for the ride, then this is something I can emulate. Also, I'm going to screw something up. I'm not a genius. I'm just not afraid of hard work, right? But if you take a look at what I do, and if it makes a mistake or it doesn't have a payoff or it doesn't, you can learn through that, and you don't have to put in all the time. Chris Badgett said in a podcast recently, Chris Badgett is one of the owners of Lifter LMS. Chris Badgett said, we want to condense decades to days. How cool is it that, I've learned a lot from a lot of people and I know how to condense these cycles. I'm sure I could learn more, right? But if you're new to this environment, you can learn from me and you can condense your decades down to days. How amazing would that be? If you, they used to say, well, it takes at least 5 years before a business is profitable. Or it takes at least 3 years before a business is profitable. Newsflash, COVID hit. If you're working remote and you don't want to go back to the office and you want to stay remote and you want to start your own gig, you got to figure out how you're going to be profitable pretty dang quick. Membership and learning sites are a great way to do that, but it takes work. As a membership and learning expert, I can show you the ins and outs of that, but we also got to teach you how to build community and plug people into these tools. Folks, I'm stoked. The sun's just barely coming up. That's enough of this subject. I'll tell you where I'm at. I told you I'm down at the AT&T buildings. I'm near LAX. I signed on with a contract. It's kind of my way of paying it forward in the community, even though I'm getting paid. But I'm helping the election. Los Angeles County is one of the biggest constituencies in the world when it comes to voting numbers. And I'm one of the trainers that teaches other people how to run the voting center from a technical standpoint, working with all of the voting machines, routers, Wi-Fi connections, things like that. And so I'm teaching some IT, teaching some leadership, teaching some communication skills. And what's really cool is it's over 1,000 students. We do it, we knock it out in like a week to 10 days. And to see the fruits of that labor so quickly is a really rewarding event. I did it last year. They brought me back this year. I'm leading a big class today. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go in and prepare my classroom back there. So I'm going to go in and prepare my classroom, get ready to give a kick-ass presentation, have an awesome day. It's September 1st. If you didn't cognitively think of what day it is on the calendar, this is a day to re-inspire. This is a day to get restarted. This is a day to knock things off, right? This is fourth quarter. It's not fourth quarter. It's the end of the third quarter, right? We got to finish the third quarter strong. First day, new month. If you just went through month-end process and you're exhausted, pick your head up, take a deep breath, get a cup of coffee, think about what your goals are for September to finish the quarter strong.